maybe. Okay, now it looks like we're live. Here we go. Evening, everyone. Welcome back. We are actually back to NieR Automata this week. Unless something, horrible happens in the meantime, but it shouldn't this time. Shouldn't. As you can tell from the chat, pointing in whichever direction your chat is on, there was a bit of an issue with Steam needing to update, even though NieR was fine this week. So, what you gotta do? So in any case, let's get back into it. It's been too long now. All right. Okay, cool. Sound is where it needs to be. Right. The update apparently did change things. I'm seeing different, there's little differences, little tweaks and fixes in terms of user interface stuff and in terms of the title screen. It's nice, actually. I really like that. That was cool. And new and different as far as I can tell. As of the update, at least. I haven't actually gone in and done anything, really, other than to make sure that it loads. Beyond that, I don't know if there are actually any in-game sort of gameplay changes. So, let's go. Anyway. Oh. Anyway, it's good to see you guys. Oh, great. I need that. Need you. That's new and different. I don't like it. Oh, what the heck? This isn't right. Well, that's not something I have experienced before. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, I'm thinking our objective is actually to, well, involves killing these three here. So let's do that. Really, come on. Right.
So much for Goliath class. That was over before we started.
Negative. Enemy machines remain in the area.
Oh, so that's the Goliath class.
What the hell is that?
Hey, that's spoopy.
It appears to be a machine life form that has adapted to the desert environment. Proposal: destroy the enemy machine.
Yeah, that's real helpful.
It reminds me a lot of, design-wise, in terms of its design aesthetics. Reminds me a good deal of, what was it? Nine, I think it was called?
Time to bust out B mode.
Alert. The use of B mode to increase nuclear fusion output carries unacceptable levels of risk. An offensive boost is offset by lower defense and increased maintenance costs. The feature was removed from newer models for this reason.
Guess it's too bad I'm not a newer model.
Cool.
Older attacker models such as the Yorha A2 are not equipped with ranged weaponry. Proposal. Unit A2 should take advantage of her support mod, which is equipped with helpful long-range attack features.
Don't patronize me.
What is this? Why can't I fight it? Ooh, jeez, okay. I don't exactly know why this is called a Hegel, but the aesthetic seems to fit. I don't exactly know why the aesthetic fits so well. But it really does. For some reason I do get real Hegel vibes off of these caterpillar-like monstrosities. I don't know. Okay.
Alert. Oncoming EMP attack detected.
Oh, great.
Escape recommended.
Where am I?
The EMP attack appears to have caused hacking damage to Unit A2's memory modules.
So this is my memory area. But why are you here?
Support units are required to monitor our target's internal systems in case of breakdown.
Next time, ask me before you go poking around in my head.
Okay, then.
What's all this about?
The hacking has caused the enemy's memories to merge with your own.
So we're getting some exposition dumps like we would with Nines. Yeah, still, like I said, still a little unclear as to why Hegel.
Normally you'd be called, but we'll be calling you 2B. Continue to observe the situation and dispatch it.
This is a fragment of Unit 2B's memory data. It is an order she received from the Yorha commander when she was still alive.
Was that about the Rogue Yora units?
Number 2. We're all here. We're supposed to be here. Thank you. Giving meaning to my life. Enough.
Memory data recognized as belonging to your Unit 82%.
Shut up and get out of my head already.
I don't know, I'm interested. Does this imply that we're playing as the pod? And we have been the whole time? 'Cause that actually seems reasonable to me.
You and I are the same. We have no one to help us. We can only cry and scream.
Shut up!
Just shut up.
Pod 153, commencing data sharing.
Affirmative. Launching compressed conversation mode.
I love this. This is delightful.
Compressed conversation mode complete. Affirmative. Awaiting report on the effects of Unit 2B's memory data on Unit A2's self-consciousness.
Understood. Updating as reference data for support activity.
I'm a little off. Just a moment. I'm gonna scoot myself over a little. There. Didn't realize I was blocking text. Yeah, I just moved myself over. Sorry about the mix-up there. Progress, to analyze effect, hold pod 42. Issue detected in your conversational functionality. There's a lot more active pods than there should be. Numerous machine life forms whose network functions destroyed remain out of control. Please take caution. Affirmative.
Good morning, A2.
What the?
Analysis. Your Unit A2 was restarted 5 minutes and 42 seconds ago. The cause was excessive strain due to battle against a large machine life form.
All this goddamn sand is starting to piss me off.
Alert. Fuel filter performance deteriorating. Fine particulate matter seems to have entered the filter while fighting in the desert. Proposal. Replace the faulty part immediately.
You make it sound so easy.
Records indicate said part was once used at the resistance camp.
The resistance camp.
Yeah, but what's this? Oh, no, okay. This is the underground arena thing. Okay. Then, let's... Oil field. Other Erasure. Now let's just go straight to it, I guess, yeah? The other quests are really collecty, so let's go to the oil fields. Or actually, you know what? Desert Center. That isn't active and want to act. That should let us transport from there. Anyway. So those of you who were not here last Thursday, if you look down in that corner there by the map, I have a new little donation option. Interested in that sort of thing. Then you can go to that address right down there, ko-fi.com/Professor McCoy. That is a way to donate to me and to help me keep up with the channel and stuff, and then also send a message. So it works just like YouTube Super Chat, and then it'll pop up right over there, and then I will hopefully see it. If I miss it, somebody please let me know in the chat. But it should pop up right there for me. So basically it works exactly like YouTube Super Chat, but without the whole YouTube monetization program and Susan taking a generous cut. So the service over there, Ko-fi, doesn't take any cut from it, and it's all managed through PayPal, if I'm not mistaken. I understand it correctly. So more or less direct. So if you are interested in donations and sending a message and that kind of thing, feel free to go right over there, right over that way. And like I said the last time, do not take this to mean that I will be ignoring the regular chat. I will still definitely be keeping up with that. It is still certainly perfectly manageable. So that is purely if you want to contribute to the channel, help us do what we do, get more videos done, upgrade equipment, that sort of thing. For example, I could not have gotten my new chair without you guys. I couldn't have gotten this game without you guys, or the next one that we'll be playing on Mondays. Some contribution at least to the point where I probably couldn't have done it without you guys. My CPU upgrade as well. So all that together, you guys have helped me out doing both this and my proper educational content. More importantly.
Help me! Are those machines fighting each other?
Thank you so much for saving me.
It's like one hit point left, Pascal.
You're a machine too.
Wait, please. I have no intention of harming you. My name is Pascal, and while it's true that I am a machine life form, I also detest fighting of any kind.
Uh-huh. And machines don't have souls. They're just murder bots with a fancy name. They killed so many of us. And I swore to make them pay.
I see. If that will save your soul, then so be it.
I mean, that's an odd way of phrasing that. So vengeance saving one's soul. No. Let's... I mean, I'm not totally confident that A2 would be able to sort of move on from hatred and revenge this easily, but we ought to. Because again, holding on to revenge and even exacting revenge ultimately just winds up being self-destructive. And destructive of others, etc., etc.
You aren't going to kill me?
Just shut up and leave before I change my mind.
You... No, never mind. You have my thanks.
Not about recognition, maybe? You going up to the giant tower? Number 2, you're still alive. Sorry, I haven't been in touch, Anemone. You survived, that's all that matters. I fear that all of your fighting companions are long gone. I had to kill number 21 with my own hands. Sorry. No, it's... Oh, that's right. Did you know there was a Yora member here named 2B that looked just like you? She's dead. What? 2B is dead. I killed her. She was infected with a logic virus. Oh. Well, please make yourself at home in our camp. I'll have someone show you around. Not necessary. Her memories are contained in this sword. See. You can go ahead and use her old room then. I'm in charge of the camp here. I'll make sure to tell everyone about you. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Well, we're here. No, we don't really. There's no recovery thing, so. Alright. Fuel filter. Supply trader. This guy? All out. Ask Anemone when stock is going to. Okay. A question for you. Any chance you could spare a fuel filter? Fuel filter. I'm afraid our supply recently ran out. Pascal makes them for us, so you could go pick one up directly if you'd like. Pascal? You know him? You trade with the enemy? Wait, if she has 2B's memories, shouldn't she know that? Maybe not all of them. Maybe not the interpretation of the memories. Which, admittedly, that is a. So okay, I'm gonna get into a philosophy point here because that's actually an interesting question. So particularly in terms of layers of interpretation, and this is a I mentioned this as well. I kind of talked about this a little bit in my video about Reformed Epistemology, which hold on, write this down. Which is one field within, broadly speaking, religious epistemology, but it applies more generally. And it talks about certain basic beliefs, things that are immediately and directly accessible to the conscious mind, things like sense perception, and in this case, things like memory. But the critic, or some critics, I guess, of Reformed epistemology, will point out that sense perception and even memory require a certain level of interpretation, right? So it's not quite as simple as saying, right, you perceive this, and therefore you perceive that the controller is blue, right? What's really going on, according to the critics here, if, I'm trying to think of who made this criticism most strongly, maybe Roderick Chisholm, if I remember correctly, another epistemologist, pointed out that, might have been Chisholm, I forget if this was Chisholm, but in any case, right, this is a particular sensation, right, what you're seeing. You're interpreting that sensation as there being a blue controller in my hand when I'm recording this. Or are you interpreting it as there being a blue controller in my hand when you're watching it? Which, even if you're watching this live, there's still a few seconds of a delay, right? So if I say, there's a blue controller in my hand right now, by the time you hear that, that will have been falsified, right? So there needs to be kind of an interpretation going on, even with respect to simple sense perception. Even if you're just receiving sensations and interpreting them in a kind of naive sort of way, in a direct sort of way, there's still a layer of interpretation going on, even with respect to relatively immediate memory, right? Sensation, memory, intuition, rational intuition as well, things like that. Now, I do take something closer to the Reformed epistemological position to be correct on this, that there are certain beliefs that are basic in this way, that do not pass through at least conscious interpretation. Right? And I think sense perception usually qualifies here, unless you have a good reason to think that your senses are deceived. There are exceptions to that, and this is following another another philosopher named Hilary Putnam at one stage in his career, because Hilary Putnam, in the field of philosophy, especially in philosophy of mind, is notorious for changing his views every year or two on everything that matters. I'll see if I can find a couple of articles to put links to as well. If I can't, I apologize, but if I can, then check them out in the description after the stream. Like I said, though, if I can't find them and you are offhand and you are interested in these topics, feel free to reach out on the Discord. In the philosophy channel, I'm always happy to talk about this stuff and help find proper resources that that don't fit nicely into a YouTube description. You know, really forget it. It's maybe hard to understand. We forge an alliance in trade materials when the need arises with Pascal, or his group of machines. Can't be picky about how we reach our goals around here. And besides, we aren't so far gone that we kill machine life forms after they surrender. I almost did. I mean, I didn't, but it was a close call. Alright, so let's go find that fuel filter.
Alert. A broken filter will cause significant problems with fuel distribution. Proposal. Replace the faulty part immediately.
Yeah, I know.
Coordinates confirmed for a colony centered around the machine life form known as Pascal. Location marked on map.
You don't know when to shut up, do you?
What? Can I not go that way? Don't I usually? Maybe I'm misremembering. Or maybe the terrain may have changed, but with the whole tower thing. Which is really quite something. After all this time as 9S, I have been kind of missing the hack and slash combat. Oh, only do have the one. Okay. Did I just pick up one? Just picked up an overclock. Yeah. It's not. A bore. Yay. Okay.
There's machines everywhere.
Analysis. This is a colony of pacifistic machine life forms led by the unit known as Pascal. It is logical for a large number of machine life forms to be present. This pod has concerns regarding your HUD Unit A2's predictive skills.
I'd be more concerned about me smashing your face if I were you.
Rude way to treat the, I assume, player character. Ah, it's the woman from before. Thank you again for rescuing me. Now then, how can I help you? Summary. Yorha Unit A2 possesses a faulty fuel filter. She has obtained information from Anemone, leader of the resistance camp. She has traveled to this village in order to obtain a new filter. End summary. Request. 1 functional fuel filter. Do you really need to spell it out like that? Analysis. A2's lack of verbal communication made this pod's assistance necessary. Shut up. I see. Sadly, I'm a bit short on materials right now. I need rigid tree bark to create a filter, but the only location I know of is guarded by a ferocious machine life force. I apologize, but I'm afraid I can't make a filter at the moment. Confirmation. Unit A2 will secure and deliver rigid tree bark. Don't confirm that by yourself.
Areas where rigid tree bark is available marked on map.
God damn it.
Analysis. Hostility toward the peaceful machine life form Pascal is pointless from an energy usage standpoint. Proposal. Form a friendly relationship immediately.
You've got to be kidding me.
Alright, let's see. Actually, let's check the actual map first. Huh? Oh, this map. Right there, huh? Okay. Yeah. Let's transport to the Forest Zone Center, shall I? Uh-oh. Alright, well, I mean, to be perfectly fair, it was A2 who killed their king. If you recall. Not while we were playing as A2. Just kind of barged in on us, but still. Really? Okay. I'm intrigued as to
Guess I'll go back to that machine.
I guess whether there would be any sort of line of succession or possibility of succession in terms of the Forest King. The machine Forest King. I mean, I'm tempted to say no. And not without good reason, too, right? So I would kind of think not, especially because of this this pattern of imitative behavior that the machines have adopted, right? And this is the thing that we've talked about a billion times, right? Every time I come in here, I come to this zone, as far as I can think of, right? To the point that what the machines are doing here seems to be unthinking or non-understanding imitation of human behavior, right? So imitating human behavior without any real context or any idea why that behavior was done in its proper ancient human context by this point. And so, you know, part of that would almost necessarily mean that they would have no concept of succession, and that we already kind of know that, right? When their king died the first time, they didn't. Well, it's actually where it gets interesting, right? So they didn't exactly choose a successor, whether through some pre-established means, whether that's or whatever else. But what they did do was they sort of restored or reestablished their king in this sort of infant form, right? Which is what succession is, really, right? It is this kind of how do I put it? It's a kind of the succession of a king, or the succession of anyone, really, our sort of replacement by our offspring. Is a kind of passing on ourselves and continuing on ourselves, which is what they were really striving for. They were striving for it in a different way. They were sort of, I would say, reaching something like a similar conclusion through radically different, for radically different reasons. The machines were, I mean. And this is even sort of going back to Aristotle, right? Aristotle thought that all things strive to continue in their existence, right? All things strive towards immortality of a sort, especially all living things. And all things fall short to some degree, right? All finite things, at least. But that part of the living thing, right? Part of how the living thing achieves a measure of immortality, qua vegetative, right, qua plant, and all the way on up, is by reproducing itself. By reproducing offspring, we keep part of ourselves alive by passing it on to the next generation, right? So this is how we achieve a share of immortality. Of course, we go further than that. We, as rational animals, also have our ideas, right, our thoughts, by sort of making contact with the eternal, right, ideas, thoughts, forms, if you will. That's a way of contacting being itself, which is eternal. So we go beyond the merely vegetative way of continuing ourselves. We do it in an organic way. The machines have sort of touched on that or caught on to something like that, but for weirdly different reasons, right? Through not understanding, they've sort of stumbled upon what we sort of naturally do. Interesting. Welcome back. Need anything? Do I think so? Well, that's kind of cool. That's good. Sword. Oh. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's a nice chip. Yeah, I gotta get that. It's a cool sword, but I don't really care for it. Alright. What can I take out for that? I need to make room for 6. What do I have that's a 6? 5 and a, if I could do a 5 and a 1. What are you? Oh, I definitely need. No, I need those things, really. Yeah. Let's get rid of that and switch it for, is that a support? Auto collect. I'm 1 short, but that's fine. I'll be okay. Yeah, we already did. Looking for something? No, it's a... Are they the same shop? What else can we do? Ever since that huge-ass tower show up, we've been short on people and supplies. Keep you distracted by the little things, we'll never get to those resistance remembers repaired. It's true, but... So there you have it. Anyway, you mind lending us a hand? Yeah, let's do it. Great, much appreciated. Okay. So all we need are some strip screws, small gears, and machine oil. You can get strip screws from machines that look like they've been stacked on top of each other. I think you can get small gears from the small machines with short legs. Should be able to find some machine oil near a deserted truck at the abandoned factory. Please don't put yourself in danger for this, alright? Do I have
That's
everything?
everything those redhead twins wanted. Guess I'll hand it over.
Yeah, I thought I already had all of that. Yep, that's everything. Thanks for the help. Time for us to get to work, Demola. What are you guys making? Isn't it obvious? Daily necessities. We're often asked to handle various odd jobs around camp. Why are they wasting the two of you on odd jobs? Oh, it's no bother. Happy to help however we can. Frankly, we're thankful to have a job of any kind. Anyway, enough gabbing. Here's your reward. Guys, this is a lot. Take it already. It's not like we have anything to spend it on. Come on, you earned it. Maybe you'll agree to help us again later? Any more? Hello again. Let's sit and chat. Just to ask, need a scrap collector? Yeah, sure. Let's do it again. Huge help. Can't help asking people. Yes, we can. Desert roses. I'll put you through all this. Do I have it? I don't. Okay, cool. I didn't think so, but I didn't actually check her shop. Yeah, I did. Oh, it's the same shop. Okay, kind of thought so. Yeah, take care. This is just a collection mission, so that should be fine. Pascal's. Hey. In other unrelated good news, I don't want to jinx it, but it looks like our that D&D game I've been talking about on stream from time to time is going to be a go. I've still got a spot or two as far as extra players who could join if anyone would like to.
Here's your stuff.
Maybe not necessarily open invitation, but
I'll make a filter right away. Please just give me one moment.
nice. But okay, okay, you needed to rocket away for that. Cool. You saw it earlier.
Alert. The machine lifeform Pascal has returned.
That was so unbelievably pointless. A2, can I help you with something? You gave me that filter for free earlier. I need to pay you back. It would bother me otherwise. How conscious of you. Yes, if you think it's something, let me know. We do have a bit of a problem now that you mention it. A ferocious machine has been attacking our children in the area where they play. Could you possibly trouble you to slay it for us? I do hope you'll agree. You don't really have anyone else to ask. Yeah, sure, let's do it. To repay you for the trouble. Already did. Pay me for the trouble. Is that fuel filter? Oh, those animal pretender robots. That's strange. Anyway, though.
Hostile machine life forms detected.
Yeah, I don't want to say, like, you know, anybody, open invitation kind of thing, but open invitation, and we'll talk about it and see if it's a see if it's a good fit. But anyone watching is interested, let me know. Again, like I said, always hit me up in the Discord. Linked below. Oh. So a little pod do a little blinky blinky. Okay, never mind. Eh. Already defeated that nasty creature. Thank you so much. Here's a reward. Please take it. Okay, cool. Built this village because I detest fighting. I wanted it to stand as a monument to the power of peace. Excuse me for yawning. I've been very tired. Gonna pull a Kevin. But when we surrendered our weapons, we lost the ability to defend ourselves. Now, many within the village want us to rearm and vanquish nearby enemies in order to preserve our peace. What do you think we should do, A2? Dunno. It's for you to decide. Yeah, I suppose. Let your villagers know if anyone tries to attack me, I'll wipe this place clean off the map. I will make a firm note of it. A2? If you like, you're welcome to take a look around our village. It would be nice for you to get to know more about us. Sure, if I feel like it. I'm fine. I'm always fine. Sis. Hey, big sis. Huh? Come on, big sis. Play with us. I don't play with machines. Now get lost. Come on. I want to play with you. I'm an android weirdo. I'm your enemy. So do what I say before I kick your sorry ass. Teehee, you're funny. It's not supposed to make you happy. Big sis, make something to play on, big sis. No. We need something to play on. Yeah, it's boring right now. Seriously? They sell stuff in the tool shop, so go buy us something. Yeah, buy something for us. Yeah, it's... Alright, just quit bugging me already. Yay, we did it! Yeah, let's... Welcome, you're looking for play equipment for the children. I'm afraid we don't have anything like that in stock at the moment. Oh my god. However, I'm sure I could build something with the proper materials. Oh my god. Here's a list of what we need. Bring me these materials and get to work. Everyone around here is weirdly pushy. Don't be absurd. We are not. Fine, I'll do it. You'll just bug me about it every waking minute of my life otherwise. An excellent choice. You should be able to find what you need at the amusement park. Oh hell, that's forever from here. It's not, it's right there. Literally right there. Alright, let's see what else we got. This is gonna suck. Jean-Paul. I really respect Pascal, you know? I mean, he's the one who thought to build this village for us outcasts. I really need to show him how thankful I am. If only there was some way to thank him. Some way. Alright. Yeah, take the hint. No hint, I just wanted to show how Pascal how appreciated he is. Anyway, I was thinking he might like a new philosophy book. Here they have such things over the resistance camp. Sure, why not? Alright, I'll get your book. I owe that little clunker a favor or two anyway. Oh, that's wonderful. Apparently someone named Anemone has a large collection of such books. You just need to go steal one. Yeah, no. I think there's a better way. I'm getting tired of that same view every day. Maybe I'll go for a walk. It's been a while since I last went outside. Okay, indoor machine. I feel like that is an attack on us. Indoor people. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. Another quest still. I don't know what. No way to. Appreciate all the time and effort for our children. Every one of them is a singular treasure to me. Indeed, they are treasures of the entire village. Our very future rests in their little hands. Imagine you find it odd for machines to speak of the future like this. Yes, also of children. Is this implying that machines sort of, like, begin small as children and gradually develop? That's weird. I really like that if that's the case. It's cool. That's really weird. It's not the impression I've gotten so far, but neat. I don't know. I trust that our children can stand strong against the senseless conflicts of this world and blaze a new trail for our people. However, one of the children is suffering from a faulty storage element. If we don't do something for the child, so repair it already. Alas, we lack the parts to do so. Here we go again. It can only be found deep in the abandoned factory, and that area swarming with terrible machines. It pains me to say this, but yes, I'll help. The required parts of the area of the, known as the abandoned factory. I truly do appreciate this. Okay. Let's do that too. Right, map time. That's near the housing complex. It's over in that weird little corner. Okay. Amusement park is right here. Park and transport there. We'll eventually have to go to the resistance camp and all the way over to the factory. So yeah, let's go to the amusement park first. I can transport there. Okay. That's weird. I don't actually know what I'm supposed to be finding here. Could have checked that, honestly. These have gotten significantly more disturbing since I was last here. It's 2B was here, I guess. Okay, progress. Darn it. What was that? That's a different control thing I haven't seen yet, because I haven't been paying attention. broken. Interesting. Ooh, pod program. Huh. This appears to still be mostly intact. Less horrifyingly disturbing. I mean, it's still a little disturbing, but not any more than it used to be. Alright. What's up here? Finally. Be everything need for this bratty kid's happy. Better take it to the creep in the tool shop. Yeah. Oof. There. Okay. All right. Save transport to E. Housing complex. Yeah, we got like I said, we're I'm looking very much forward to actually starting up this D&D game. Running this one would be a good time. It is I'll say similarly, it's a little bit similar to how our my Curse of Strahd game began. But they didn't actually start in Barovia for that one. I started off in the big city of Waterdeep, which is the Sword Coast and the Forgotten Realm setting. Major, big deal kind of location, and because there's lots and lots of stuff to do in that kind of place. So we started off there doing just kind of odd job quests. Still used to hit the button. And that is what we're going to do for this one, except that this time I'm not planning on getting the party stuck in Barovia. I mean, almost certainly not. That isn't the plan, at least. Unless at some point everybody really, really wants to do that, then I would think about it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I should put the kibosh on that from the start, but I don't know. What in the world? Really? It's not this way? What do I get here? What do I get? There. What's this? It's underground, isn't it? I should have realized that. Alright, well, let's go back. Gotta re-transport. Came the wrong way. Alright, anyway. Yeah, it should be a good time. It's I am planning on having this be, more straightforward adventuring party doing adventures out of the big high fantasy city. So it should be fun. Which is really what the original premise was the last time. It's just then we got lost in a terrible, terrible place. Which was kind of, I will say, which was kind of the intention from the start there. In part because one of my players for that game, I know does not watch these, so I can talk about this plenty. He has played D&D since back in the 80s. When Ravenloft first came out as its own kind of thing. Now, again, yes, here, closest one. So as it turned out, he hadn't played Ravenloft at the time, but he had heard of it. It was sort of legendary back in the day as one of the first major D&D modules that were released that was had a real villain, and not just a big bad monster at the end of the game, but a real villain that would confront the players on almost like an even footing. That wasn't, just the boss that stands in the boss room until you get to the boss room and kill the boss kind of thing, Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going from here? Other way. Okay. But yeah. That was, it was pretty legendary at the time and has only gotten all the more so till the point now, with the recent release of Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, it is once again kind of almost its own form of campaign setting. All right. Up again. Yeah, so down underground this way should do the trick. I hope. Oh. Nothing. Okay. But other than that, I'm going to be taking some inspiration and some bits and pieces from other adventures and modules and things, but I am mostly just doing this homebrew style, as it were, just kind of doing this, doing my own thing. Making it up as I go with just sort of quests that are, like I said, some of which are, inspired by pre-written content, but nothing so direct.
Those desert roses the twins wanted should be around here somewhere. But finding them is going to be a serious pain. Why are they running such dangerous missions in the first place?
I hate these stupid things.
That's it for the desert roses.
Okay, I died.
Time
That's
to
fine.
head back.
All according to plan. Okay, now how do I head back? Alright. I can just go this way, I hope. Oh, that did nothing. Okay, well, this wasn't the plan, but here I am. What? There's more, really. Does this end or not? I'm not convinced this ends. Maybe I should just go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. All right. We just got a new fuel filter, and it just struck me as a little ironic that we are going straight back into the desert to immediately ruin it. Alright, well, anyway, we, don't have, too much to talk about. I mean, unfortunately, we haven't been doing a lot of just sort of fetch questy type stuff tonight, meaning that we're a little lacking in the philosophical depth, at least for tonight, at least in the game. Now we've got other things I've been talking about, so it's not a terrible disaster. But I don't know. It does seem like so far, at least, maybe it's a little early to judge. But it seems that 2A's part of the story is a little less deep, I guess, or at least a little less thematically deep. No, story-wise, we're kind of... It's doing that thing again that I really liked about the 9S sort of storyline of events, which is seeing the same things from a new perspective, right? Again, right? Differently, again, because 2A has, or A2, whatever, has yet another different perspective. Right? But also, the last time when we were sort of seeing the same things, or sort of the same things from a new perspective, we were seeing the same story, the same part of the story from a new perspective. Now we're coming back to a lot of things that we've seen before, now that they are different, right? And seeing those things now, not only are they different, but the way we were seeing them is different, and both kind of factors there are compounding. Must be enough Desert Roses. I think that's a really, really cool sort of storytelling mechanic. It's certainly atypical, but I do like it quite a bit. Okay.
I don't get it. Why are the twins being stuck with all these crap jobs?
Hypothesis. Continued crap jobs will eventually have a deleterious effect on the entire organization.
I'd better talk to the lady in charge about this.
Why? What's wrong? Dal wants books on philosophy? Well, as it happens, I just finished this one the other day. You're welcome to take it if you like. Thanks. Could you give him the gold ore as well? He's been asking for this for a while, and I managed to get my hands on some. Alright. Oh, I'll say. I have this right here. It's somewhere down here. So, yeah. Oops. That's something else over. Stop falling. Everything else. What's this one? By Pascal, of all people. Funny enough. Yeah, Pascal's Passé. This one. This is apparently what we have. So, cool. Look at that. It's a good book. I'm shocked, honestly. It's a good book, although it's also a very strange book. If only in its format. Because... Okay, so I'll kind of go into this in a moment. I'll talk about this while we're sort of on our way there. How about that? Rather than just standing here to pause screen. Seems odd that a machine life form would be in philosophy, don't you think? Makes me wonder how much we really know about our enemy. I wonder. Alright, let's also ask her about the twins, because apparently Pod thinks that's weird. Yeah, what is it? Why are you scowling at me like that? I see, this is about the twins. I understand how unfair it must seem for them to keep getting our most difficult and dangerous assignments, but I'm afraid they're going to continue for a while. The others here, well, they still haven't forgiven them. Forgiven them for what? And who the hell are they, anyway? That's something you should ask them directly. Oh, okay, let's go ask them directly, shall we? Hey, do you have a second? I got a favor to ask. We need some tree sap to repair a tent, but there are some super strong enemies guarding it. Can't even dent the things with the flimsy little weapons we have. Maybe you can shut up for a second. Jesus. Why do you two keep getting assigned the most dangerous jobs? You're not exactly equipped to handle this sort of thing. I'm sorry. We really should be handling our own tasks. Divola. Stop it. I'll take the job. I'm better at killing crap than you anyway. What was it you needed again? Tree sap? That's okay. We'll handle this one ourselves. I think we should accept the assistance. Come on, sis. We can't help. You can't keep... Thank you. You have no idea how much this helps.
Where the heck am I gonna find that?
Search already performed. Regions rich in tree sap marked on map.
Thanks,
Well,
Pine.
aren't you a helpful little box? That ought to be enough sap.
Yeah.
Time to head back.
We got it already. Cool. Oh, again, you managed to... Yep. Got it. Must have been difficult. Is Devila sleeping? She was drinking. I think she finally passed out. She's been trying to cut back. But things are rough as they are. Well, everyone needs a release, I suppose. You mean rough? It's not easy being a defective model, you know. In the past, a paramodel is identical to ours caused a major incident. Popula. Oh my gosh, this isn't... it isn't getting any fuller over here. Bunch of no good... Teehee, oh Devila. She does love that particular spirit. She makes it with a desert rose, actually. You're welcome to try some if you like. Oh, no, keep it down. Has some booze. It's mine. Meow. She can say some pretty odd things in her sleep. So you gonna have a belt or what? Maybe next time. When I drink, well, it's not always a good thing. Leave it at that. Anyway, thank you again. We should take a bit of time to rest if you can. Interesting. Okay. So we kind of learned a little bit. We learned that a pair of models identical to theirs did something bad at some point. What's going on now?
Where the state ceaseth, there only commenceth the man who is not superfluous. I see. It seems this Nietzsche was quite the profound thinker. Or perhaps he skipped right past profound and went straight to crazy instead. Oh well, enough of that. I'd best go see the world for myself instead of burying my head in books.
Wait, are we...
Well, look at you. Your speaking has improved so much. But I fear you still haven't finished your studies, have you? You promised to read and memorize that botanical field guide, remember? You'll play with us when we're done, right? Of course I will. You have my word. And Uncle Pascal would never lie and break his word. Because children who lie grow up to be mean, evil machines. What's that?
That needed to be playable?
Right. Now I just have to bring this to Pascal.
A2, can you hear me?
Oh, perfect.
Help, A2.
I have the materials
The
you
village
asked
is
me
in
to...
great trouble. The villagers are...
Pascal! Pascal, are you there? What the hell is going on?
Hypothesis. The valuable source of information known as Pascal has encountered difficulty. Proposal. Unit A2 should investigate Pascal's village immediately.
I'm on my way.
Interesting. Alright, well, let's just keep going. Probably just rush past these guys. Well, not these. Right, back to the village. Anyway, so Pascal, the book, the basically the only book on philosophy that he wrote, Pensée, is very, very strange in terms of philosophical treatises. the reason for this was the format, how and why and when he wrote it. So Pascal actually died relatively young, and he died in the process of completing this book. So he died before it was properly finished, but he had written a great deal of it. Oh my. Oh my.
What the hell? The machines are eating each other?
Pod, where's Pascal?
Unknown. Cannot establish connection.
Uh-oh.
A2!
What happened?
I don't know. Some of the villagers suddenly went mad. They began attacking their friends. I managed to help the children flee to safety, but I fear everyone else is.
You need to get out of here before you're next. Just go. Run. I'll figure out how to handle this.
But what about you?
These guys can't touch me. Now move your ass!
Right.
Not. I can get through, okay. Oh, right. Okay. I hope that doesn't mean that introvert machine was killed and we couldn't save him because we weren't playing 9S. Hey Manfred, good to hear from you. Not too much going on. Except for everything's on fire and machines are dying. So there's that.
I can't leave this village to fend for itself.
I wasn't. Oh, this is the exit. Okay, I didn't realize that. My bad. These stupid things. There we go. All right. Anyway, yeah. So the so Pensée, Pascal's book. Speaking of Pascal and the book that we're bringing to Pascal. So because Pascal, the historical Pascal, the philosopher, died while writing this book, it is very strange in format. Effectively what happened was his friends and confidants took the book in whatever form it was, or the unfinished version of it, and published it for him. Unfortunately, he didn't exactly have it in order or anything like that. What he had was a massive collection of, effectively, notes, right? And so these notes are in relatively short form. Some of them were almost complete, right, in terms of... Oh, the big guy died. Some of them were nearly complete, right? So there were pieces that were pretty significantly put together, but then there were also pieces that were not put together really at all. There were pieces that were, just a sentence or two, just sort of put randomly together. And because his friends didn't exactly know what went where, they weren't the one writing it, and his notes weren't very well organized, what we have now wound up with Pensée, with the book, is effectively a... Oh, it's still alive. What we effectively have is a book that is incomplete and sort of out of order. The best analogy I can really give is it's like if you were writing a book, if you were in the process of writing a book that died. Oh, jeez. Stop. Here we go.
Is that all of them?
You're in the process of writing a book.
For survivors.
Scanning.
And
No life signs detected.
None, huh?
And knowing that you died and you had a
Pascal,
book in the process
can
of
you hear me?
publication, process of writing.
Hey, too. How is my village? My people?
I'm sorry. I couldn't help them.
Oh, no.
Are the children all right?
I've taken them to the abandoned factory.
All right. I'm on my way.
It's kind of seems like a weird, unsafe place to take them, but yes, we can do it, I guess. I think that's where we need to go next anyway, but let me check the map. Anyway, my best analogy for Pascal's Pensée is it's as if when I were in the process of writing this book, right? And rather than carefully curating what the contents were, it's as if my friends, after knowing that I was in the process of publication, decided to just take the entire contents of my hard drive and put it together in no particular order, or things that were stored in the same file folder, and just published the whole damn thing, because that's effectively what everyone did with his desk. And even I forget where the passage is. If I could remember the specifics, I wish I could. There's even one page in here that is just inserted in with everything else, and it was a passage of it was a kind of adaptation on the Psalms, right? Meaning, so it was a psalm and commentary type thing, and poetry, additional poetry type thing, and it was sewn into his jacket because he kept it close to him, right? And that was just included among the rest of his book. He stepped out and made delivery to the outpost near the desert. Thought he'd be back by now. Check up on him. Yeah, if I'm out there. Thanks. Female resistance member stationed in the desert, you might know where he is. That would be Jackass, right? Anyway, onward we go. But yeah, Pascal's Pensée is a very strange and disorganized little book with a lot of really great insights, but a lot of sort of difficulty figuring out what exactly is going on. It is great overall. I have a couple of videos on Pascal, on particularly one relatively complete section of his book called The Discourse on the Machine, which is the section that we borrow that's where we get the relatively well-known Pascal's wager, as well as some other very closely related arguments that we really should read and teach sort of alongside the wager. Because the wager by itself, without the rest of the Discourse on the Machine, is woefully incomplete. And that's where a lot of the criticisms come from. A lot of the criticisms of Pascal's wager really just come from reading it without its surrounding context. And that's actually one of the things that I go into in the lectures. I've got a pair of them, so I'll put those in the description. If you haven't seen those yet, and if you're not really familiar with the entirety of Pascal's Discourse on the Machine, or if ever you read Pascal's wager and were just distinctively not impressed, well, I think I might know why. It was kind of set up for failure in my view. In any case, yeah, definitely check those out. I think they're put together for class, but I think they're some of my
Pascal, are you
some of my
okay?
more useful lectures.
Me too.
So what exactly happened?
I don't know. Some of the villagers just started to feed on each other. If you hadn't come along, I'm sure we would have met the same grim fate. Thank you.
Is this factory safe?
So is this factory safe?
It was once occupied by a cadre of fellow machines that had gone berserk. However, 2B took care of that threat. It is quite safe now. We've been using it for storage for some time.
All right.
Didn't realize that.
Query. We understand that machine life forms can regenerate as long as they possess the required materials. Is this accurate?
Unfortunately, we cannot regenerate our cores. Cores contain the data which forms our self-consciousness. If one is destroyed, there is no way to restore it. We usually store our cores in safe places, but this time, the villagers had their cores destroyed as well as their bodies.
I see.
So the machine core is stored separately from the body? That's odd. Because I thought the cores were like the part that's inside the head, right? It's that smiley looking thing. I thought. Or is it that Pascal's villagers store their cores in a separate safe location and are connected wirelessly or whatever? Could be. Interesting. I mean, that's smart. Smart. It reminds me of, I think this was from, I forget if it was Buffy or Angel. This is a weird, really stretchy analogy, so follow me on this one. But there's this vampire who undergoes surgery to have his heart cut out, right? And he has his heart stored elsewhere. Because, how do you kill a vampire? Well, you drive a wooden stake through its heart, right? But if its heart isn't there and you stab it with a stake, then it can just kill you. Now, in the Buffyverse, there are different ways of killing a vampire as well. There's fire, sunlight, and decapitation, as well as a stake through the heart. So there's that. So it won't necessarily kill him. But... excuse me. So he was still killable. But it's a cool little idea of a kind of safety measure. It works just like a better analogy maybe might be something like a Lich's phylactery, or like Voldemort's Horcruxes, right? where the important part of you, the part that's killable, is stored somewhere apart from you and somewhere safe, so that if you're killed, right, you can just come back.
Still, if we're gonna hole up here, I wish we had more info to work with.
Proposal. Unit A2 should secure the safety of Pascal and the children immediately.
What's the hurry?
Haste is predicated on data obtained from the recently restored cross-regional pod network.
Wait, there's more of you?
Affirmative. Cross-regional data reveals a large number of machine life forms amassing around these ruins.
What? Pascal!
A2!
Alert. Enemy reinforcements are infiltrating the facility.
I'll smash them before they can reach this room.
You must let me help you! I will smash them up and kill them!
Where? Like outside, or is that tower? Where are they? Oh, hello. Hang on a second. Let me check my pod programs while I'm at it. Wire. Gravity. I'm gonna try gravity. That sounds cool.
Why are they coming after us? Why?
We can sort it out later. Right now we have to take them down. Bastards won't stop!
A2, I have an idea. Please buy me a bit of time.
Goliaths too?
Can I switch? Okay, I'm gonna switch to slow. Switch back to the laser. Hey, Riley. How you doing? Oof. Okay. Oh, there's more coming. There's a lot of tanks.
They're still coming?
Fear not, A2. I can handle this.
Oh, neat. All right, Riley says doing good. Just finished cooking. Made some chutney. Took a lot longer than I thought. Cool. I have never really succeeded at making chutney.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I must protect the children.
I don't actually understand the controls to this, like, at all. Does it just walk through them? It appears to be just we walk through them. God, that is an obscene amount of tanks. This is like what the RAF wishes they had in World War One. Just tank dropping. Jesus. Why can't I do that? That was cool. That was his first time here, so we'll see how it came out. Oh boy, Colossus fight. Here we go. Is this the anime-est part of the game? I feel like this is the anime-est part of the game. Oh, that's not good. How do I do this? Okay, I'm working on it. I got this. Okay, I got it. All right. All right. Okay, we're making progress. This is working. Jesus, giant heavy mech thing. Yeah, there we go. That was pretty cool. Okay, that's cool. Oh man. Yeah, Pascal, rock'em sock'em.
Are you alright, A2?
Yeah. Thanks for the assist.
I fear for the children. Let us hurry to them.
Oh, why am I playing Pascal still? That's weird. What's he looking at? no.
No, how can this?
Their own cores? They killed themselves.
How? How could this happen?
Why would they do such a thing?
I taught them everything. All my thoughts and emotions. I thought it would serve them well in the future. But instead,
How would teaching them lead to something like this?
fear.
I don't understand.
I taught the children what fear is. I felt they had to know so they wouldn't rush heedlessly into danger. But instead,
Fear destroyed them. It caused them to take their own lives.
if I knew this could happen, I never would have. A2, I need your aid. I cannot live with this heartbreak inside me. I need you. I need you to delete my memories. And if not, then I need you to kill me.
Initiating hacking to cut off memory circuits.
So, this actually brings up a lot of what is, ethically speaking, wrong with suicide. And that it fundamentally is a... So let me put it this way. This is going to get complicated and sensitive. So again, I apologize. I want to try and be as philosophically precise and maybe say clinical as I can about this, because I know this can be a really sensitive topic. So part of the issue with respect to suicide generally, actually back up. Part of the issue with respect to vice, wrongdoing, generally, and this follows from virtue theory, so going back to Aristotle, is that any wrongdoing, right, is either an excess or a deficiency of something about ourselves, whether that is thought, desire, emotion, passion, what have you, right? It's either an excess or a deficiency, and to do the right thing, we strive for what Aristotle called the golden mean. Let me actually write this down, because I believe I have a lecture on this. If not, I should. That'll be coming up on the list rather soon, I think. In any case, right, so ethics is about doing the right thing, right? And the right thing for Aristotle and for the virtue ethicists, and I think this is largely correct, is about finding the mean, or the the middle path through between opposite vicious extremes. So the clearest example of this is particularly relevant here, which is courage. Right? Courage is the virtue that is in between the vices of cowardice, which is an excess of fear, and brazenness or brashness, which is a deficiency of fear, right? Not being afraid when you ought to be. Whereas, as a brashness, that's being brash, that's, like Pascal was saying, that is like rushing into danger with no concern for safety, right? Without fear. Whereas cowardice, we all really quite know, this one's more simple, is an excess of fear, letting fear paralyze you, such that you cannot do what you ought to and need to do. Courage is the ability to have the right amount of fear appropriate to the situation and then act appropriately, act accordingly. Right? So if if a tiger walks into the room, you ought to be afraid of it, but you ought not to be too afraid of it, such that you sort of lose your head, and therefore sort of lose your head. Right? You get the idea. So the virtue in any case, with possible exceptions, but set that aside, in almost any case, virtue is going to be this mean between opposites. And we see here again that suicide is a vice, or a result of a vice, of excess in both cases here. So in the case of the children, right, the children robots, it's excess of fear, right? Fear, which is inappropriate to the situation. They know that they are under threat, but they know that they are not dead yet. Yet they decide to flee from the situation in a very permanent and self-destructive way due to this excess of fear. This is the very classical understanding of the wrongness of suicide, is that it's a kind of fleeing away from what one ought to accept or confront, either way. Now, in Pascal's case, his desire for either death or removal of his memory, which for a machine may amount to the same thing, depending on the duration of the memory that's being erased. And we'll also get to that as well. That's another really interesting part about this. The other point here is that for Pascal as well, suicide, or the equivalent, right, the equivalent of wiping one's memory, is a kind of excess, right? It's an excess, but in this case, it's an excess of attachment, right? Of attachment to the way that things are and have been. Right? So it's an unwillingness to accept and live with a change, even if that change is for the worse and should not be embraced or celebrated, but it has to be accepted, right, in order for us to move on, to move forward. The opposite of this would be a total detachment, right? Absolute total detachment, which leads to a kind of apathy, not caring about what's going on around oneself. Not caring about things in the world, not interacting with them, and not engaging with them. Right. Interestingly, the primary clinical cause of suicide, clinical depression, tends to cause faults of deficiency rather than excess. Right? Clinical depression, again, from what I know about this, and I mean, I can correct me if I'm wrong on anything here, but typically, clinical depression tends to cause deficiencies of passion, emotion, perception. Right? It is a deficient understanding of oneself. Depression comes with a kind of insufficient self-evaluation. You're evaluating yourself as insufficient, again, incorrectly. Again, of course, this doesn't quite fit the model of virtue and vice, because there's no culpability for a neurological disorder, at least under normal circumstances. There are aberrant cases of, voluntarily taking drugs that will lead to depression or will cause depression, something like maybe there, but rare cases, very, very rare cases. For the most part, there is no culpability for neurological disorders like depression. Right? Also, it leads to a kind of apathy with respect to the world, a kind of detachment, right? A deficiency of involvement, a deficiency of care. Right? And this is why clinical depression will lead to behaviors such as the inability to work up the motivation to do things. Because of that, it seems to be the opposite kind of going wrong, let's say. I don't want to say vice, that has a moral connotation, but the opposite type of thing that goes wrong, as opposed to the ordinary causes of suicide in circumstances under which it is a vice or something that is deliberately chosen, let's say, like the case we're seeing here. And so I think that, again, this is further evidence, right? This further demonstrates the kind of lack of culpability for why we say victims of suicide, those who suffer from neurological disorders like depression. Of course, there are other neurological disorders that can lead to suicide. Depression is probably the most common one, although I don't have the expertise or the sort of the straightforward knowledge right now to go through other disorders that might lead one to suicide and look at whether it's a deficiency or an excess. But I would suspect that they are more along the lines of deficiency rather than excess. And I'd have to look at this, and this is actually something worth considering. If you have thoughts, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, this might be something to look at and think about in the Discord as well, so feel free to throw something in there. If you're not in there, description will, there's a link in the description that'll take you right there. Yeah, I think there's something interesting to say about that, and there's something. I mean, because we already sort of properly, I think, consider suicide due to neurological disorders as being non-culpable. We've talked about suicide victims, but I think we can make this distinction between victims of suicide and perpetrators of suicide. Those who commit suicide out of vice, right, out of willful wrongdoing, are very, very different from those who commit suicide due to something physically and chemically wrong with the neurological balance of their brains, of the physical apparatus which facilitates thinking and emoting. But the other part about this is the erasure of the memory. And this is something that I would call strictly wrong. There's no redeeming quality to erasing one's memory or willfully forgetting. A couple of reasons for this. One, it changes nothing. The bad that has happened. Changing one's memory of it does nothing to alleviate that. And it's a kind of preferring one's own. It's kind of selfishness again, as it were, right? It's a kind of preferring one's own mental well-being to both, one, the state of the world. It's a kind of distaste for the state of the world. But then also beyond that, right? It's a kind of preferring one's mental well-being to knowledge about the world, to the truth, which is a gravely wrong sort of thing. It's a fleeing away not just from obligations, but to reality itself, which is a kind of extreme selfishness and cowardice. But then further, right? It's a kind of, we find the further question, right, of it being a kind of suicide as well for a machine, at least. If you remove your memories, how deep does that go? Is it current memories? Is it memories of events, or is it your full memory system? Like, there's a difference between deleting your documents folder and wiping your hard drive, right, and formatting your hard drive. If you format your hard drive, all of your programs and everything go away as well. Your computer will not function in the same way, even if you were to reload the memories. Whereas if you just kind of delete your documents folder, yeah, you've gotten rid of the analogously the occurrent memories, event memories. So which of those makes a huge difference? Is it possible to retain one's personality but eliminate their recurrent memories? Maybe. Probably, especially for an organic being, right? A real, person, flesh and blood person. I think probably. amnesiacs are still the same people and act largely like the same people. Although they can change much more fluidly, as I understand it. But because they have learned things, it's just they don't have access to the event memories that formed that wave. So, there's a way to reject both of these options? That's a real question. Definitely want to say wait, not let Pascal wipe all of his memories. Oh, on the same note, right? In terms of memory, in terms of fleeing away from the past, changing one's memory, not changing what really happened, not actually having an effect on reality. It reminds me of some really interesting parts in the Star Wars Expanded Universe, the old Legends continuity, where there was a force power called flow walking, which is a kind of time travel. But only kind of a kind of time travel. What I mean by that is it... So as I remember, and as I remember the description of how it worked, one could go into the past and change events. Right? Change how things occurred. I'd need to go into way too much explanation to explain, to what minor degree things can change, and then ultimately how they can't. But the characters all ultimately realize that even if you change an event of the past, the future, the present, right, the reality, the present, is not going to be any different, because the flow of time, right, the way it's described is the force is like a river. If you drop a rock down there, down upstream, there will be ripples, and it will change the flow, but it'll still get to the same place in the same way, ultimately. Right? So the force will re-guide everything back to the way it was, which I actually really like that as a method of time travel. Even if it really does change the past, everything else is going to reconfigure itself back to making the present the way that it is. Okay, there's no explanation as to the causal mechanism of that other than the force did it, but maybe that works. If you're working on forced time travel already, your magic system is getting a little bit loose. Anyway, it then comes out that it isn't that you actually changed the past. And then the future, the flow of events comes back to the way things are. It refigures things. Rather, what you're doing when you go into the past is you are changing everyone's memory of the way things happened. Which is why you can't ultimately change the present. So, if you go back in time, and to use the example, someone was about to die, and he was saying goodbye to his, I forget if it was officially his girlfriend or whatever, but saying goodbye to his girlfriend, and he just said goodbye and left. And so you go back in time. She goes back in time and shoves him forward to kiss her, and then everyone now remembers that's how it went. That's an example from Legacy of the Force, I think, one of the Legacy of the Force novels. Either Legacy of the Force or Fate of the Jedi. I think it was Legacy of the Force. But so the change, right, is only in everyone's minds. So you're altering memory, but it doesn't change the way things actually currently are. Even if the characters will then kind of go into the deeper question of, does it matter? What's the difference? Is there a real functional difference between changing everyone's perception of how the past worked, how the past happened, and actually changing the past? Because in either case, the present remains unchanged by necessity. The present is the way that it is. So is there really a difference between changing everyone's perception of the past and actually changing the past, if the present still winds up being the same way? Interesting thought. It's kind of a quandary, and it comes down to whether reality depends upon observers, whether reality can in fact truly be objective, or if reality is to some degree shaped or determined by observers. And with respect to in the Star Wars metaphysics, I don't think there is a difference just because of the way the Force works and the Force interacts with all living things, right? Living things are pretty fundamental to the functioning of the cosmos per Star Wars metaphysics. Real metaphysics is much more complicated because of the lack of that in particular, or maybe it's more simple if you can say the same of God. But that seems a bit odd because then something to get into separately. But then we do have this question of if everyone remembers something differently, or if Pascal remembers something differently or doesn't remember something, then what effect does it have on the present? Does it matter? Is that the same? Is it not happening? Well, it's not quite, because A2 remembers it, for one. But is it for Pascal? Again, I lean towards this is in fact Pascal attempting to reject reality as such in either way, whether that is by suicide or whether that is by limited memory. This is a kind of fleeing from or rejection of the truth per se, reality. And realistically, most of our worst sins and our worst faults are a result of or simply are rejection of reality. Rejection of or maybe resentment towards other way. Wait.
Initiating hacking to cut off memory circuits.
No. Can we just not? Can we just not? Can we leave?
I cannot live with this heartbreak inside me.
You have to.
A2, you aren't leaving me like this, are you? Please. You have to end this for me. I cannot live with this heartbreak inside me.
Won't let me look away. Gosh. Raleigh says it would have been really nice if you could have said all that to Pascal. Yeah, for sure. Right? Yeah. Or if I could have given him the book that I have in my pocket, metaphorically, for him, which is this, which actually has a few things to say about suicide. I don't remember the specifics. Now I want to look. I don't have the time right now, obviously.
I cannot live with
But
this heartbreak
now I want to
inside
look
me.
back through that because I'm curious.
How could you? A2.
Well, I'm not killing you. I'm not erasing your memory. I'm leaving. Select unit to monitor. Oh, 9S. All right, well, we're on 9S now. Let's do it. 153 will continue support. Unit 9S. To support 9S. Proposal. Pod 153 should periodically review the mental state of Unit 9S. Acknowledged.
Looks like he's awake, Devila. Morning. Slept well, didn't you, 9S?
What's with the blindfolds?
I'm in the resistance camp?
that's right. You've been unconscious for nearly 2 weeks.
Wow.
A little thank you for saving your butt would be nice.
Where's 2B?
You know that better than anyone, no? Her black box signal disappeared.
Oh.
Devila and Popola are rare android models designed for medical treatment and maintenance. Without the bunker, they are the only remaining way for Unit 9S to initiate repairs.
Oh.
Proposal. A word of appreciation is appropriate.
Thanks.
Yeah, there used to be lots of our models around. Apparently, we were put here to oversee some kind of large-scale system that was in place.
Apparently. What does that mean?
It means we don't know. All the records from that era have been deleted. Our model kinda went nutso at some point in the past. It ended badly. Most of our kind were disposed of after that. But we were spared. They used us as a sort of control group in order to ensure such a thing couldn't happen again. So yeah, we're lab rats. But at least we get to be here helping out friends. I'd like to think that we're atoning in some way for our past sins. Try not to overdo it, 9S.
At least says it has a HUD in it. It would make sense. I mean, that would be a little weird that A2 doesn't have a HUD. When, I mean, our user interface does. But at the same time, I mean, why not? I mean, what's wrong with assuming that an older, different model? Oh, right. Let's change our plugin chips. All right. What do I not need? Don't need it. Don't need it. Don't need it. Oh. Oh, I see. So maybe I can just put in a 5? Do I have a 5? I don't have a 5. Okay, never mind. All right. All right. I don't have anything that's just worth 2, do I? No. I didn't think so. I didn't think so. All right, what about 3? Not quite. Irene. We'll combine some of those ranged attack chips. better. We'll do it. Actually, upgrade a pod now. I sure can. Finally. Alright, cool. Alright, now what? Seen these folks, perchance? Nope, sorry. You're part of my squad. I lost contact when they went out for field research. If anything happened to them, well, to put it bluntly, if they're dead, I need to know so I can mourn them properly. Have you tried searching for them? I'd go myself, but my motor systems were heavily damaged some time ago. Still, I can't stop wondering what happened. Well, sure. Give me an idea where to start. Last time I heard from them, they were in the flooded city. I'll give you their ID codes. We all wield dual weapons, so you should be able to find them easily. If they're dead, I'd appreciate it if you could retrieve any personal articles you find. Sure. Dude. Let's see. Okay, so keepsakes are down there. There's something way back here in the castle I can look for. I think that's it. I think that's it. Oh, hey, I didn't actually look at this. Received word of the recent destruction of Adam and Eve, the enemy machine's life form's central networking units. The enemy weakened, now is our moment. We, humanity's greatest army, will now launch an all-out assault, drive back the invaders, and reclaim our rightful home of Earth. Glory to mankind. Lie. As you're all aware, our recent large-scale offensive ended in crushing defeat, with our loss of our Yora compatriots being a particular point of deep regret. Long will we remember their brave sacrifice. However, do not lose hope. The truth is that we, humanity's great army, still possess the upper hand. Go forth and fight for victory, not just for your sake, but for the sake of all the fallen as well. Glory to mankind. Oh, same. Okay, same. All right, then. What's that, then? Interesting. There's a little lion around it. The tower. See thumbnail.
What is that?
The tower.
An enormous facility that appeared from an area beneath the ground. It would appear to be machine-related in origin. Further details unknown. Mobile transport platform detected in the section emerging from the facility's center.
So, an elevator?
I hope so. I'd really hate for it to be a spiral staircase. Let's not do that yet. Let's go down here first. And for that, we need to transport. There we go. All right. Okay. I'm thinking back now. So Rally, you said a while ago, it would have been nice if you'd been able to say all that to Pascal. Yes? So here's the thing, right? Ordinarily, there is this very real problem that it's very difficult, maybe even impossible, under ordinary circumstances, to talk someone down from suicide. It's very, very difficult. It might not even be possible for some people. But part of the reason for that is, at least in the modern world, right? A lot of suicide, most probably, is a result of neurological disorder, mental illness, roughly speaking. And because of that, it's very difficult to reason with someone whose reason is not functioning properly.
Alert. This is one of the Resistance members.
What is that?
I was afraid we'd find this. The only personal items are these dog tags.
Analysis. Remaining transmission records indicate the Resistance members were attempting to retreat from battle. Analysis of final coordinates complete. Marking locations on map.
Let's go take a look. Maybe some of them will still be alive.
They're dual-wielding assault rifles. That's interesting and different. Oh, world's... A little while since I've done proper hacking. All right. Still ask, what the heck is that? Is that part of the tower, or is it just floating there? Okay. Ah. Terrible mistakes. Okay, mistakes were made. Oh, it's easier. Anyway, yeah, the reason I think that it's typically very difficult, and I mean this especially, I mean, in reality, right? The reason why it's very difficult, maybe impossible under a lot of circumstances, to sort of talk someone down from suicide is because you're reasoning with the unreasonable. You're reasoning with someone whose faculty of reason has been externally damaged from the outside by a neurological imbalance. And because of that, we have this tendency to think that, talking may not be so helpful, right? Especially if someone is on the verge, right? If somebody is, really very suicidal and very serious about it. However, in this case, right, in the case of Pascal, reasoning with him might have been more fruitful. Particularly because I think, oh god, there's that giant thing again. It's so weird. Because he came to the, well, at least it seems to me, like, he came to the conclusion that, you know, suicide was the correct course of action through rational, albeit incorrect, means. Right? It's that he came to the wrong conclusion, not that his capacity to reach conclusions was itself damaged. Which is, I think, again, a very important distinction that we may overlook. Oh, well, hello. He's this way. Now, we've done this before. We've come here before. This was another one of those arena things. It's not. Alright, let's head back. Towards the very strange floaty mabob. Anyway, but yeah, I think that that's again, this actually comes to another distinction that I think we should make far more carefully than we often do in the modern world, is the distinction between mental and neurological illness or disorder. A mental disorder is one which is strictly mental. It is a fault in thought. It's thinking the wrong way or thinking the wrong things, such that we, can lead to, vices. It can lead to something going wrong, and maybe can even lead to neurological disorders if you think in the same way sufficiently, like neuroplasticity, right? So modern neuroscience tells us that will have an effect on your neurochemistry in the long term. But that these are different things. One is a symptom, or I guess maybe we should say one is a disease. The neurological disorder is a disease, whereas mental illness or mental problems of any given sort, really, a mental disorder per se is more like a fault or a flaw than it is it's more like a fault or a flaw than it is like a disease. And I think because of this distinction, I think we should make this distinction more carefully and more often. That we ought to treat them differently as well. Right? And again, this is outside my area of expertise, but it seems intuitive to me, at least, that trying to treat a neurological disorder with talk therapy is going to be very difficult at best or futile at worst. Whereas the converse, right? Whereas trying to... all acting strange. Yeah, no kidding. Whereas the converse, trying to treat a strictly mental disorder with medication. Shh, don't shout. What if they find us? Can I help you? I don't know if I need any of that. Maybe later. Ooh, really disturbing looking. All of you are really disturbing looking.
Man, there's blood everywhere. Whatever happened must have happened right here. Talk about a bad way to go.
I'm not a fan of these. This is very disturbing. You meat vegetables. He's got it too. Why are the machines zombies? I'm gonna try and hack the one that's right next to the transport, just to see. That one. Okay, it just explodes normally. All right, nothing too different. Anyway. No attack now. Oh, hey. Very disturbing. Anyway, let's go to doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doo. Is it over here? Oh, the desert camp. Okay. Let's do that. Actually, this is right outside the factory, so let's do that first. Then we'll go. Yeah, I think that the failure to treat this distinction seriously between mental and neurological results in a lot of problems, especially in how we treat mental illness, sort of as a broad category encompassing both. Because that's how we treat it, is a broad category encompassing both. Like they're the same kind of thing, right? And I think that's a significant problem when, by trying to treat them in the same way as the same kind of thing.
Alert. This is one of the Resistance members we were asked to locate. No vital signs detected. The unit is deceased.
I thought that was a cricket bat.
Alert. Emergency support request found in transmission records.
When was it sent?
Approximately 12 minutes ago.
That means they're still alive. Let's go.
Target looking.
Oh.
Data obtained. Marking on map.
Okay, well that's cool. Dig it. I dig it. Where though? Systems in the desert, huh? Yeah, cool. So let's go to the desert. Why not? Yeah, I think it can lead to some severe faults in even in treatment. Again, that's not my expertise at all, like how to treat mental illness. But making distinctions kind of is. Right? That kind of is my expertise, is making distinctions when relevant, particularly when they are metaphysically significant, like the distinction between mind and brain is. And so by making this distinction, right, we can, or at least we hopefully can try and avoid some of the problems that come with treating the mental as physical and the physical as mental, and vice versa, mixing up the two, as it were. What is that? That is, oh, neat.
Over there. Initiating rescue.
This is not great. Oh, okay, that's bad.
Revenge. Claim your revenge.
There we go.
Avenge the pain of our comrades.
There we go. That was close.
Violence rules this world. Violence.
Violence rules this world, huh? It's awfully cynical. Ooh. Almost ooped.
The hostile machine life forms have been defeated.
See, there's a machine core. They take theirs with them.
Alert. This is one of the Resistance members we were asked to locate. No vital signs detected. The unit is deceased.
Damn.
Analysis. All missing Resistance members are deceased.
I suppose we'd better return their belongings.
What are you doing, Peg? Right. Onward we go. Let me look. There we go. Okay. Desert entrance. Something in the castle. The desert entrance, then back to the resistance camp, then the castle. Cool. Or desert camp. Whatever. Alright. This is, by the way, I just caught my own eye here. This is another Dragonfly shirt. This is I mentioned these, I don't know, a week or two ago. As a delightful brand of, I mean, you can say Hawaiian shirt, but like Guy Fieri shirt is maybe more appropriate. I love these. They're fantastic. Find them. Find them. You can order them. Go ahead, order a dragonfly. This type of thing. Excuse me. Anyway, they're fantastic. What? Delivery guy? Yeah, he was here. Brought me a broken water purifier. Which I already repaired and returned to him. We took it out to the storage facility forever ago. You telling me he's still not back? Our storage facility is over in the city ruins. Helps keep it safe from enemy attacks and all that noise. Hell, he could still be there for all I know. Let me show you where it is. Okay. Where? Oh, there's Emil. Where? Oh, right there. Sorting Trouble 3. Okay, cool. Maybe I'll stop by Emil. On our way there. Ah.
Proposal. Investigate.
Let's check it out.
Oops. Paid a little closer attention to that one, but oh well.
Proposal. Use pod fire to force him to stop.
Yeah, I can do that. There we go. Oh, hey, I remember you from the other day. Sorry, I got startled and ran away, or rolled away, I guess. Anyway, my name's Emil, this is my shop. Want to buy something? Yeah, we already had this conversation, didn't we? Yeah, okay. That's kind of cool. Bust. Nothing I need. Thanks. Where do I live? I didn't ask that. Well, I live deep underground. Picture something deep and go deeper. Feel free to visit me anytime. Okay. That's still weird, but okay. I've been told that Emil plays a bigger role, I guess, in some of the other NieR games. So, that's cool. Oh, that's the warehouse. I see.
This must be the resistance storage facility.
Alert. Voice patterns detected from inside storage facility.
Thanks a million. Sorry. Do me a favor and clear a path so I can get out of here. Hurt my leg trying to force my way out. Also, as you can see, I'm pretty big, so I'm gonna need plenty of space. Oh god. Okay, fine. I really gonna do this to me. Make me make all that space. Fine. Really. I know, you're gonna get stuck, but you'll live. Oh, it's copper ore. Okay, I'm wasting time. I can sneak through there. Probably not. Yeah, I can. But it's iron ore. Okay. Trapped in there, trying to get everything organized. My supervisor tore through the place like a tornado, ended up boxing me in. I tell you what, I just can't keep up with her anymore. Damn it, there you are. I haven't seen you in who the hell knows how long. Now I find you sitting here on your ass. Didn't I tell you to keep this place organized? Yes, but we were throwing things all over the place and I got trapped. If something's in the way, just blow it up. It's not that freaking difficult. But I don't have any explosive. Then build some. I mean, just look at all the crap around here. You could build 10 bombs with this. There's no way to... Zip it already. Time to teach you some goddamn bomb-making skills. But I just work in storage. I don't need to know how to make bombs. Cram it. Even a lowly warehouse man needs to know how to blow things up. Sorry my useless subordinate caused you so much trouble. You can have this. Not much, I know, but whatever. Anyway, I'll see you later. Eat. Wait. Pod program repair? Is that like an auto heal thing? Or a heal thing, I guess. Doesn't work. It's a temporary beam capable of healing the combatants as long as they remain within its radius. Oh, okay. Nah. Cool, but nah. Alright, now what? Back to the resistance base. Then the forest. Yeah. Wait, what? The resistance camp, right? Yeah, he was not showing the quest. Alright, whatever. Hopefully. Quest doesn't get goofed. So I think what we'll do tonight, I got 10 minutes. I think we can finish up these last couple of side quests. Hopefully that castle one doesn't give us trouble. So we'll finish those up. And then next week, we'll continue the main quest with the tower. So I get to use the same thumbnail another week in a row. To be fair, last week it was for other reasons, but Face tells me everything I need to know. Make it, did they? No, I'm sorry. See. This is what's left of their personal effects. Thank you. I'll just place these flowers with them. Flowers? Yeah, I'm just imitating an old ritual. The human race had many traditions when it came to mourning their dead. I know that it may not mean much to us, but I just want their souls to find some peace. That's the wish I'm putting into these flowers. Thank you for your help. Can I admit something? I'm relieved I was too injured to fight. I'm relieved because it allowed me to escape. Let's go to the Royal Chamber. The Forest Castle. Yeah, hopefully this quest isn't a huge pain, but, you know, who knows? Maybe it will be. Also, so, Rally, you might know this, so feel free to inform me, now or off the stream or whatever, as relevant. I've been led to believe that there is some weird, there's some weird fiddle-faddling you have to do in order to actually get the, ending E. It's not so simple as, it's not as simple as just sort of continuing along the simple and obvious path forward. Apparently there's a little more to it than that. I don't know exactly what. So if it looks like I'm about to tragically miss something very important, do let me know. In addition, if there's something I need to know in terms of like how to actually get the there we go. How to actually get all the endings properly. Let me know that as well, even if it needs to be in advance. So yeah, let me know of that if there is anything I need to know about it. Oh, hey, who are you and what are you doing here? On the world? You're a soldier. You're your unit. Some of you survived? Yeah, I'm 9S, by the way. Oh yeah, I've heard of you. You're the model people used to call 9s, right? Yeah, I'm 4S. It's impressive that you're still alive, 9S. You're Type 4 model, eh? You guys were deployed pretty early on, if I remember correctly. I sure wasn't expecting to run into another scanner model, not after what happened in the bunker. So, what are you doing here? Gathering intel on the enemy. Laura might be a thing of the past, but the resistance is still around. As long as my body works, I figure I should make myself useful. If you have any information about local enemies, you can share it with me. Can you share it with me? There's only so much I can do on my own. Sure, I'll give you everything I have at the moment. Handed over the enemy data. Sweet. Interesting. Sharing data, oops. Looks like different regions have their own specialized machines, almost like the environment is affecting them somehow, but of course that's absurd. Oh, right, I should pay you for your trouble. Please take this. Titanium. By the way, would you mind if I called you 9s too, just like everyone else? Go ahead. Nobody calls me that anymore, though. So our subject is it? Sorry. If you're into any new enemies, I'd very much like to look over your data. Okay, cool. Alright, well that's that. Okay, let's go back. Alright. Well, that was actually much easier than I thought. I guess easier than I thought it was going to be. Oh. Okay. Well, in that case, let's properly save rather than quick save. I think we're going to call that it for tonight. So thank you again, everybody, for joining me. Like I said, a bunch of interesting things here tonight. A couple of my lectures that I'll be putting in the description down below. If you're not in the Discord, please join it. I'd love to have you. Another thing I've mentioned only very briefly, both this time and last time, if you are interested in contributing to the channel, check out the link down there. That is ko-fi.com/Professor McCoy. That is a way of contributing to the channel that works kind of like YouTube Super Chat, where you have the message that pops up, as I said, right over there. And it tells me that you donated and wanted to say something. I will still, like I said, keep an eye on the actual YouTube chat because it's still pretty manageable. But that is a way that if you want to contribute to the channel, it's also a way of me setting something up that's like Super Chat without having to worry about YouTube partner program stuff, and also giving a sizable contribution to Susan Wojcicki. Not something I prefer to do, and also I've mentioned this a million times before, but I think monetizing this channel per se and sort of putting ads on and stuff like that really defeats a lot of the purpose of it as an educational endeavor. So I don't want to put a paywall or an ad wall between my students and their classroom content. So that means that you guys, who are not my students per se, get to enjoy and be edified by some of that, at least, for free as well. So anyway, that's what's new. Otherwise, like I said, I've got the Loki video coming eventually. I have it more or less planned out. I have enough. I have pretty much everything I need set. I just need to do it and then edit it, which will still take a substantial amount of time. So that is still coming. It'll still be a little while. That is the next project. Talking about the philosophy of time. And then I may wind up doing something on virtue theory if I haven't already. I know I haven't gone into too much depth in that already, but that might be the next kind of thing. Again, strictly philosophical content that we're looking at. Anyway, thank you again for joining me. We will be back on Thursday, as usual, to continue Dragon Age 2. We just encountered Flemeth, and we're going to be moving forward from there in the city of Kirkwall, finding the rest of our party, doing some adventuring, that whole shebang. And then we will be back right here, usual time on Monday, to do the next major plot point with 9S, go up this tower and see what all that is about. So, thank you all again, and I will see you next time on Thursday, and then next time again on Monday. Have a good night.